Hello. This video is what an American thinks about Bosnia. I was in Bosnia for maybe 5 days or so. I spent 4 days in Serbia. What an American thinks about Serbia. I was in Belgrade, Serbia, for 4 nights. I was there for 4 nights because I intended on riding my bicycle on the full moon for 30 hours straight. I wasn't able to do that because I made myself very sick from eating too much McDonald's. 5 Big Mac meals within 2 days, and I also was drinking out of moldy water bottles from the juice, so I wasn't able to do that. But my experiences of Bosnia, the Bosnians let me in. I think as perhaps they asked me where I was going to go, but they let me in. Right as I crossed the border, it started to rain. My first experience of a Bosnian was of a little Roma child, about 4 years old, walks directly in front of me with his little doggy, his little puppy dog, literally right in front of me. Little cross-eyed boy. I literally had to stop almost all the way and go to the other side of the road, or I would have killed the boy. And I went to Happy Hostel, which I was there for 4 nights, and Belgrade is a very beautiful city. It is right on the confluence of the Danube and the Rava rivers. The Danube River was still quite large, even though it's much earlier in the Danube there than in Vienna. Yeah, Vienna. And so you have the rivers, and you have the lake right there, which was taken from the Rava, kind of a reservoir that is completely lined with beaches, and it's supposed to be the #1 party city of all of Europe, according to Lonely Planet. Bosnians are very, very bad litterers. There were lots of, as I was entering, not Bosnia, Serbia, as I was entering Belgrade, I saw lots of fields of plastic bottles and trash and garbage, which I saw also along the banks of the river, the Rava River, and also in the countryside. Serbians themselves seem to be very of darker skin, darker complexion, and I actually mentioned this to a boy on the street trying to ask me for money for the orphans, and he said it was because of the all of the Turks. I said, are the Serbians related to the Roma? And he said, no, it's because of the Turks from the last 500 years. I did the Wikipedia, and it said that Siberia comes from the Serbians, so perhaps the Serbians are perhaps nomadic. But Wikipedia said that they come originally from Iran, and the Gypsies come from Iran, so perhaps they are. I would say they are related to the Gypsies. Serbians, it seems to be more or less on the beaten path. I was the only of one of 2 people who I know of, or perhaps there were more, but one other person in my room the first night I was there, another man from Austin, Texas, which is where I am from, But then the last 3 nights I was there, I was the only person in the whole hostel. So it's a little bit off the beaten track. Serbia is quite cheap. For €2 I bought a 3 litre bottle of beer, which is about less than $3. And but it was cheap beer. I put it in my water bottle, and it immediately lined the water bottle with yeast hops. It's a very dirty beer. Serbia, but the people seemed more excited to see me as a tourist. They were honking their horns at me, and they're very friendly people. But I did notice a little bit of perhaps underhandedness, dishonesty perhaps. It is pretty much par for the course when you come to these poor countries that you're going to see behavior like this, where they are either stupid or they're dishonest. It began in Croatia, where the man told me that breakfast was all day, and then I go to breakfast and the man says no, breakfast has ended early. So that was the first example of the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. And then another time I bought a MP3 player in Belgrade and the 8 GB memory card, and when I got home he had put the 4 GB memory card in my bag. So I went back and I showed him the receipt which said 8 GB and the 4 GB that he gave me, and he goes, "Oops, oh sorry, so sorry, so sorry." But he gave me a roll of tape, so perhaps it was just because he was stupid and not because he was dishonest. There's really no way of telling. But the girls who worked at my hostel were quite pretty. I think Bosnian women are supposed to be pretty because they have the dark skin, the good skin. And the girls who worked in my hostel were pretty. One of them was very pretty. Not particularly conversatory, though. They watched a lot of TV and were on the computer a lot. But their English was good. The Bosnian English seems to be okay. The standard Bosnian doesn't know English, but some of them do. I would say it's about the same as, say, the Croatians and those other Eastern European countries, in terms of English. One thing about the Europeans in general, though, all of the Europeans, is that they are chain smokers. Americans don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but the Europeans smoke lots and lots of the cigarettes. So I enjoyed my time in Serbia. I suppose that's all I have to say about Serbia.